I'm Paul. I look after the transport side of PX Farms. It's the 28th of May, just after 8 o'clock in the morning. James is away on holiday with his family, so we're all holding the fort. We've got a busy day today. We're heading over to Volvo to rectify some issues with the last 4 trucks that we have sold back to Volvo. So we're heading over there now. Okay, so we've just arrived at Volvo. We're here to look at the last four trucks that we've sold back to because they have to be up to a certain standard, and we're just here to finish off the final little faults, ready for handover and be signed off. Okay, so we're back from Volvo, had the last 4 signed off, which completes the transition. All the old trucks signed off and onto the new ones now. We swapped from 2019 and 2020 FH500s to 2024 FH500s. We stuck with Volvo because they've been very reliable, they're good on fuel, and with the weight modifications done to the spec, it increases our payload. And that's important to us because that's what we get paid on. We're paid on the payload. As you can see in the background, we've got the truck wash here at PX Farms. It's important that everything's well maintained and well presented, especially on days like today when the trucks will get really filthy with the roads. So most of the drivers all on their way in will come through this on the way back. As for keeping things maintained, as was said earlier, we've gone with the Volvos again. They're all on full gold R&M maintenance contracts, so we don't have any headaches. Anything that's wrong with them just gets sorted straight away, and it's all nice and easy, one monthly price, all dealt with simple. So in the background, we've got one of the trucks just got back, 30 tonnes of feed wheat, going into a store on behalf of Viterra. Going to get that tipped as quick as possible. We're going to rush back to the office, sort some paperwork out while he cleans out after his load, and then we're going to put a load of white mustard on to go to Condimentum in Norwich, ready for to be made into some English mustard. Okay, so this is Aberdeen store. This is our largest store on the site. As a block, we can store 68,000 tonnes of grain just in this section. Aberdeen alone is 20,000 tonnes. That's 666 lorry loads, and will pretty much be filled this harvest. Okay, so we're back in the office across from Aberdeen. We've just added all the details of the white mustard load onto the system and sent the details across to the driver, so now he can go onto the weighbridge and get sorted and loaded, ready for tipping in the morning. As you can see behind, the trailers are still in very good condition. This one is actually 10 years old. We are, however, looking at options to replace or start to replace the fleet of trailers. Now all the trucks have been replaced. If anybody has any recommendations, please comment below, let us know your thoughts. I had a tour around the Wilcox factory last week, very impressed with what they have to offer. We're going to look at the other options shortly. So as you can see, he's now tipped and on the weighbridge weighing out. He's then going to come across to the chaff store and sweep out, make sure the trailer's completely clean, ready to load mustard. Because with mustard being a gluten-free product, we have to make sure there's no grains of wheat left. It can take just a small handful of wheat is enough to tip it over the gluten-free threshold, so we have to make sure it's properly clean before we load it. As you can see in the background, we've got a truck parked next to one of the combines, so you can see just the sheer scale and size of them. Won't be long and they'll be out on the fields together. So as you can see, J5's now back on the weighbridge, all loaded up with mustard. Steve's just doing the sampling, make sure everything's all within spec, ready to send, and he'll be in Condimentum in Norwich first thing tomorrow morning. And now just go back to the office, finalise the rest of the runs for the morning, and then it's home time. Okay, so it's the 29th of May. We're back at this truck next to the combine again. Thought we'd go through some of the spec options that we've changed on it from the standard model to fit with our business and the increased payload that we need to carry. So firstly, you've got the new Jost fifth wheel. That's a new lightweight steel model developed to bolt directly onto the Volvo chassis, which means it doesn't need a fletch plate. So actually it makes the steel fifth wheel 30 kilos lighter than the old aluminium model that we had on our previous trucks, which is lovely because obviously that's another 30 kilos of grain that goes in the trailer. As with the last ones we had, we've gone for the lightweight lift axle, again saving weight. Small short range fuel tanks because we try and stay within East Anglia predominantly, so we don't need the long range fuel tanks, again saving fuel. And then on the outside we've had the progressive safe system fitted to enable us to go inside the M25 for the London DVS permits, which we've just received. Along with that, we've got side view cameras, a forward facing camera for insurance purposes, which I believe James has spoke about in one of his previous videos. The Volvo comes with a reversing camera on the back of the chassis as standard, which is quite neat. We've had an integration cable made up that plugs in so that when the lorry is coupled up to a trailer, that switches over to a reverse camera on the back of the trailer, enabling them to see when they're reversing onto a pit. I think that's all of the bits on the outside, so we'll take a look at the inside. Okay, so on the inside we don't have very many modifications really. The main ones are we've fitted a two-way radio. All our trucks and farm vehicles are fitted with these, and also there is a main radio in the grain store, in the grain lab. So during harvest, everybody can speak to everybody and hear what's going on. The drivers can speak to the chaser bin drivers and combine drivers to see if they've moved and need to load at a different location, or if there's a queue at one and not many lorries waiting at another one. Just basically where the need is greatest at the time, so it keeps things moving a lot smoother. Other modifications, we've spec'd it without the top bunk because we only have one driver per truck and they're only pretty much short haul. Although some drivers do have nights out, they don't have that many nights out and definitely don't require a second bunk, so that's a weight saving thing. And usually if you spec without a second bunk, you would be replaced with top cupboards. We opted to not have those, again because the drivers don't need that much storage space with being short haul, and again it's a weight saving because if you've got storage space, drivers will find something to put in it. So in addition to the 12 bulk tipping trailers, we've also got 3 additional trailers. We've got the curtain sider, which we use for moving the seed around, and we've got 2 flat trailers. The smaller of the 2 currently we bought as a flat already converted. The larger one currently we bought as a curtain sider. I've cut the roof and the rear doors off to become a flat trailer, and Andy, our welder's coming tomorrow to put some strengthening back in it, chop the front down and put new custom built headboards on the front to put a nice bit of height back in the front and with some strength, so when the bales get pushed up tight that the headboards will hold it, and without the risk of falling over the front onto the cab. That's going ahead tomorrow, and then we'll just the one on the right's already been MOT'd and is ready to go. The one on the left will then go for MOT, ready for moving the straw post harvest. So we're back in the office now. We thought we'd pull up the telemetrics systems for you to have a look at. On the left here is the old system that we had, because we're now migrating the whole fleet, including all of the tractors, pickup trucks, combines, every piece of machinery on the farm is all having new cameras and trackers fitted, so that's all migrating over to the new system on the right. It's important for us in the haulage team so that we can give farmers accurate ETAs. We can also see traffic problems to warn drivers to take better routes rather than sitting in the traffic, and just generally plan our day a lot easier by knowing where everybody is. So in the background you can see it's Andy. We were videoing him yesterday. He took a load of white mustard to Condimentum. He's done another load in the afternoon since. He's back here again. with a load of feed wheat to go into the store, and then you can have another good clean out again and load brown mustard, go back to Condimentum again in the morning. Andy's our longest serving member of the haulage team. He's been with us 13 years next month. We've got several drivers that have been here a long time, many years. Good reliable team, and they all muck in together and fit quite nicely, especially at harvest.